Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Strategy Lab, brought to you by Sinapra. I'm Sabrina and it's my pleasure to host today's panel discussion, episode 11, Boiling Point, SDGs Edition Part 2. Our guest speaker for today's episode is Amara Naveen. Amara is an accomplished educator with a strong background in English language art instruction. She currently serves as an English language art instructor for middle school at Dazol, the school PECHS, and as a remedial therapist at Curious Cockatoos Learning Stop. Amara is a gold medalist in Bachelor's in Business Administration, sorry, Administration from Ajman, UAE, and holds various certifications including TESL instructor, applied behavior analysis, special education needs, and remedial therapy. She is also trained she is also a trained international behavior therapist and executive master trainer. Joining Amara in today's discussion are our respective panelists Asma Ahmed, Syed Asra Naqvi, and Mariam Afzal. We're excited to have them share their insights and expertise. In this second episode of Boiling Point SDGs edition, we'll be focusing on some critical SDGs, including affordable and clean energy, decent work and economic growth, industry innovation and infrastructure, reduced inequalities, sustainable cities and communities, and responsible consumption and production. We'll explore the challenges, opportunities, and potential solutions for achieving these goals. If you have any questions or thoughts, please don't hesitate to share them in our live chat. We appreciate your input and look forward to engaging with you. With that, I'll sign off and give away the stage to Miss Asra.
First of all, Assalamu alaikum to everyone. Uh, and thank you, Sanapra, for giving us this opportunity where we can discuss different topics uh, that related to our needs of this time, and also we can say that uh, that's the need of our education system, and that we can integrate with our educational system. As you all know very well about it, that for our last episode 1 was related to the SDGs, that are sustainable developmental goals. So, on that episode, we covered uh, first six sustainable development goals, and we try to integrate that. How can we just try to address that, how can we integrate that goals in our education systems and educational institutions. So, first of all, I would like to welcome our guest speaker, Ms. Amara Naveen, today, and welcome to all our participants, our panelists, Ms. Asma and Ms. Mariam. Hope you all are doing well. All right.
Thank you
Now move
so
on.
much, Ms.
Thank you so much. And now move on. Now, first of all, move on to goal number 9, SDG number 9, and SDG number 10. SDG number 9 is related to the industry, innovation, and infrastructure, and the goal number 10 is related to reduce inequalities. So, first of all, I would like to confirm you that this goal number 9 is basically about building strong systems, infrastructure that is related to infrastructures, industries, and technologies to drive sustainable growth, basically. And goal number 10 is related to like progress that is shared fairly by reducing social and economic inequalities, basically. Fine. So now move on to the goal number 9 first. Say, what is the objective of this goal? Basically, the objective of SDG number 9, that is Sustainable Developmental Goal, is industry, innovation, and infrastructure, is to build resilient infrastructure, promote inclusive and sustainable industrialization, and foster innovation. And the object, and now move on that why it matters and what is the significance of this goal, that is industry, innovation, and infrastructure. uh, as you know, as you all know, As much as our infrastructure is strong, we can say that we are a country who is not just a development, who is just not under development. He's just nearly, you can say, a country who are developing country, not just under development country. So if like our roads, electricity, uh, networking, internet system is working well, is working in a good condition, or we are if we are aware of our country, our people of our country are aware of these things, and if we want economic growth, so these are the things that is very important, that plays a vital role in growth of the country in a social and economic way. And if we have industries, so it generates lots of opportunities, it creates lots of opportunities for the people, uh, for their jobs, and income, they can generate incomes, and but needs to be environmentally sustainable. We need industrialization, we want industrialization in our country, but we have to follow that kind of rules, we have to make something like that, that is sustainable, that would be helpful, not would be harmful. Fine. So innovation drives, basically drives progress, efficiency, and solutions. So how much our country will be innovative, the people are innovative in our country, so we can we can fight with the global challenges. And if you are talking about the global challenges nowadays, the main and the big global challenge is now climate change. The global warming, everybody is facing this challenge. So if you're talking about the what are the key targets by 2030 that we have to overcome that. So we, according to this goal, they want developing quality, reliability, sustainability, and resilient infrastructure. And how can we do that? Whenever we just promote sustainable industrialization and inclusive and sustainable industrialization, basically. Fine. If we'll just increase research work, we can increase scientific development, and if we have access to technology, basically, so we can overcome all these things and we can reduce that. Fine. And how can we do that? We have to support the small industries, small scale industries, and how to especially in developing countries, that is we are. Fine. This I'm talking about the Pakistan. Now move on to the objective of SDG number 10, that is reduce inequalities. What does it mean that reduce inequalities in which way? In the way, basically, if a person, people have equal rights to for the jobs, to generate incomes, to earn. So basically, this is the one, not a particular one who are the elite classes. Basically, the people who are disadvantaged, those are living in the areas and territories who are disadvantaged territories. So they have equal rights to generate income, to earn something. Fine. So uh, you know rich and poor countries can worsen global instability, we all know that. Fine. Equal opportunities for the healthcare, equal opportunities for seeking jobs, equal opportunities for education. That is the main thing. So, if you are moving on the target, their target and objectives that they want to do by 2030, that is achieving income growth for the poorest for 40% at least. Fine. Of the population of any country, 40% of the population of any country. And that they will ensure equal opportunity and reducing discrimination based in sense of gender, in sense of language, in sense of class. So they just want to provide equal opportunities for everyone in the developing countries or the disadvantaged countries as well, and the countries who are already developed. So basically, they just want to save migration. They want to facilitate. Their target is to facilitate, safe migrations and mobility of people. People will migrate from one place to another. uh, Through that they will generate good income. They can they would get lots of opportunities for earning, for education. So this is their key target for SDG number 10. Now if we're just talking about how can we integrate it with the education system, and how can I just explain it with the help of examples in our country and the countries who are working on it. So uh, you know I'm just talking about Pakistan. As we all know, on universities level, on college levels, but not only on that level. In our school systems, in the secondary system schools, in the schools who have primary systems, and even for the Cambridge and whatever, they all are doing many things to provide, to aware, even not only children, adults, but people about these SDGs, as you all know about it. And you all know that we always uh, integrate these kind of SDGs in a way according to the level of the students. And what we will do is, what we always give different kind of projects to our students. We always assign themes of our curriculum. We just add it in our curriculum to aware people, to aware students, to aware our children about these SDGs. Fine. So now, prominent names who are doing that, about LUMS, NUST. These are the universities. Basically, they are doing the startup about the mentorship, and they are funding and providing technology resources. As you know, nowadays, entrepreneurships are the ways through that the people who are living in the disadvantaged areas, where there is no access of internet, there is no access of uh, quality education, or you can say the quality healthcare services. So that can, through entrepreneurships, the people are trying to get access of that areas, and they just provide them opportunities to showcase their talent, to showcase their work. Through that, they can generate lots of income, and they can just provide lots of provide, you can say, quality education or healthcare systems. And if you're talking about the government sector and government, lots of the prominent name about for this is virtual university, as we all know about it. uh, Virtual universities are offering lots of digital trainings, and about entrepreneurship, freelancing, marketing, coding, lots of training. Through that, people aware of it, they can just get the opportunities. That through that we can just reduce inequalities for those people. Virtual university, you all know about it, that it's a distance learning distance system of learning. So through that, what happened, that people who are not living on that areas, who can easily go to any kind of university, or especially for women, where women are restricted to go outside the homes and outside the houses, so they can easily get quality education. Fine. Um, Now move on to the infrastructure, school infrastructure and development. Punjab education, Sindh education, their foundations, and lots of things. So they are doing. They are working with the local schools. This, and not only they're working with the local schools. Some of the NGOs are adopting that schools of government sectors. Last time I have given the example about Zindagi Trust. Shehzad Roy are doing a good job about it. His NGO adopted a school and a college. That is the GEC Elementary College and adopted a school. Through that, they are just providing people or equal opportunities for learning. As our children are learning in private sectors, they are getting quality education there. So these kind of NGOs are working on same on that SDGs, where they can reduce inequalities on the basis of gender, on the basis of language. Fine. So these all are from my side. If I'm just talking about, I'm just giving you another example, a little example outside the country is about the Finnish curriculum. You all know about it. In the Finland, they have inclusive education system. Fine. So these are also, their inclusive education model basically, they ensure all children, regardless of socioeconomic status, and uh, that that all of the children are equal right to get a quality education. So we have lots of example. We cannot cover it in this, uh, a little, in just only in 1 hour. So this is all from my side, and this is all about SDG 9 and 10. So it's just now over to Miss Mariam Afzal now. I hope I'm audible to everyone. Yes, Mariam.
I think so.
जी, thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Assalamualaikum. Assalamualaikum to everyone. I want कि हम अपनी जो गेस्ट स्पीकर हैं मिस अमारा उनसे आपका उनका जो है वो पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू लें regarding the SDG goal number 9 and 10, what she was going to highlight or how which strategies we are following to inculcate these SDG in our curriculum. So, Miss Amara, please
मैं मिस
go
अमारा
ahead
को
with
इनवाइट
that
करने
and
वाली हूँ। प्लीज मिस
Thank you
अमारा।
so much. Thank you so much, Ms. Asma, and of course, Ms. Mariam. It was very nice to hear what all you have to say, Ms. Asra. Definitely, I mean, when we are talking about sustainable developmental goals, as we all know, they're all stated by United Nations, and they have a goal of reaching them by 2030. Whatever Ms. Asra said definitely applies. But one of the things that keeps, you know, lingering in my mind is that no doubt we have to see that what all we are doing today in terms of helping achieve all these goals, but I think we should also keep in mind about how fast the things are developing, how at what rate all these goals can change with respect to the changes around us, and how we really need to incorporate all these learnings, all these strategies into our curriculums as well. Because when we talk about sustainability, it is all about sustaining, right? It is all about surviving in every situation, being able to be ready to deal with things. A few years back or a couple of decades back, we never really thought about how climate change can actually have an impact. We did keep hearing about the glaciers are melting, the species are getting endangered, they're getting extinct, but we never really paid attention to a lot of it. And unfortunately, we did not even educate our children. We did not really, being part of the education system, we were not really given so much of thought or asked us, to develop a certain way to think about it or to look into the matter, what all we can do. So I think one of the ways, especially when we are talking with respect to goal number 9, that is reducing the inequality, I am a big speaker for inclusive education. I have been practicing inclusive education, and regardless of the fact, I do realize that we have much more awareness. We've got so many programs that are running who, which indicates okay, what exactly inclusive education is, what different types of learners are, how to approach these different kinds of learners. But I still feel that there's this distinguished dilemma that we are looking into, that people are not really able to accept still. We talked about Pakistan being one of the developing countries. We are definitely a third world country. We are unfortunately behind a lot of things. when you look out in the Western countries, these students with special needs, in terms of maybe a child with dyslexia or dysgraphia, or a student with ID or autism or ADHD, they are not necessarily looked as a liability. But unfortunately, here in Pakistan, even though we try to eliminate that barrier, we try to reduce that impact of not calling them special and trying to facilitate them, but unfortunately, the mainstream students themselves are lacking in so many of facilities. Just now we said that we are talking about technological advancements, right, in terms of sustainability goal. So one of the things that technological advancement is that we actually provide them the facilities or the infrastructure to not only be technically advanced right now, but also prepare them to be much more advanced for the future needs. But living in a third world country, unfortunately, we are not really able to provide them with what is required for now. It is due to the lack of infrastructure. It is due to the lack of the awareness, the right use of things. I think हमें morally भी educate करना students को बहुत ज़रूरी है. Once we have the tools with us, sometimes the kids do have everything. They have internet, they have resources and everything, but they do not know how to use them to in the correct way. So let alone thinking of how to use them to create sustainability or achieve the sustainability goals. So I think incorporating all these values in a curriculum, looking at what is the need of the art today and also of the future, that is something really high time to be achieved from the education sector. We need to have some ground rules, we need to have some infrastructure, some strategy put up into the correct curriculum that is not uh, that is actually in collaboration with what we are expecting in future. Learning probability about 1,000 years ago of civilizations, I understand it's important. However, that civilization learning as per today and the coming up time does not necessarily have that impact, or there are other important things that we can teach them, that they should know, they should be able to cope up with, and they should be able to apply to be able to be not only a better citizen but also be a better human being for our coming generations. So yes, incorporability of all these in curriculum, according to me, is of utmost importance right now.
Thank you so much, Ms. Samara. Nice hearing from you, and definitely you enlighten us so well, in contrast with Asra. One more thing I want to add here is that one thing which I personally feel, believe, and perceive is that um, education sector has a major role in addressing or in conveying these SDG goals. Why? Because in every house there are children going to school. Like, if I compare it with other sectors, like if it's banking, if it's medical, so not everyone goes daily. I mean, like if there is a banker, he is going to bank for the job. If one is a doctor, he is going to the hospital for the job. But the regular interaction, so I think that much important, or you can say that वो कहते हैं बहुत बड़ी जिम्मेदारी जो है एजुकेशन सेक्टर पे इसलिए आती है क्योंकि हर घर में हर बच्चा स्कूल जाता है, और जितनी री और जितनी प्रैक्टिस एसडीजीज की होगी एजुकेशन सेक्टर के थ्रू curriculum के अंदर बार बार so everybody will be knowing what the goals are, so it will be easily achieved. Like practice and reinforcement obviously एक वो सबसे बड़ा tool है किसी भी चीज़ कोई भी गोल अचीव करने के लिए. सो जब हर घर का बच्चा जा रहा है स्कूल और जब करिकुलम इंटीग्रेशन हो रही है, वो पढ़ रहा है घर में, माँ बाप को बता रहा है दैट आज मैंने ये पढ़ा कि क्लीन एनर्जी क्यों चाहिए, इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ क्यों चाहिए, वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट क्यों चाहिए, पॉवर्टी लेस होना क्यों चाहिए. सो एवरीबडी विल स्टार्ट नोइंग दिस इज समथिंग वी आई हैव टू वर्क टुगेदर ऑन. सो मेरा ये पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू है कि एजुकेशन सेक्टर को आगे बढ़ के सबसे ज्यादा रोल प्ले करना है because this is something which has a huge and a big impact.
Acha, I just want to just say one thing here. Okay, the best thing is the teacher training system. If we train our teachers well, So this thing definitely works a lot. In the sense that if our teachers are trained, they know how to uh, implement this thing in our system, in our education, in our syllabus, in our curriculum, and how to deliver this thing to our students. So I think I definitely agree with Mariam, but I say well trained teachers play the vital role in education system. If our teachers are trained well, so they can definitely our students will aware of it, and we can easily you can like inculcate this thing in our education. So the
Yes, Asra,
training of the teachers
obviously.
are the mandatory thing, I believe.
Yeah, obviously, and teachers are trained according to a set curriculum now. So
Yeah,
when the content is
definitely.
there, when the integration part is there, so definitely teachers are trained according to that. So
Yeah.
my now my part is about SDG goals, clean energy, and economic growth and decent work. So as it is the episode 2, and we all had been through the discussion that why SDG goals are necessary, why it was important, and when it was created, and what is the ultimate goal. I mean 2030. So now let's talk about affordable energy, clean energy, and decent work and economic growth. The points here I'm using to convince my viewers and my to deliver my point of view is that I will, combine these two in one example. If I give a project, I mean, I'm a big STEM educator, vocal learner. So um, I'm a learner and a teacher as well. So when example is that I am giving a project of a clean energy, for example, having a solar powered car, something like that. So if I give a project to a child, I'm just giving an example to convince my point of view. It focuses on the area of clean energy, affordable energy, and entrepreneurship that helps in economic growth. So by using this example, I will start discussing about my two goals. So when we inculcate the clean energy into the curriculum, and obviously when I'm talking about the project, so it's a STEM project, so that means it has science in it that covers the renewable energy technologies. It has chemistry in it, and if I'm using the biofuels or the storage thing, so we have the materials, the chemical part here, mathematics to analyze the data on energy and employment, and now talking about the economic growth. So we have the entrepreneurship part, like economics and social studies can focus on sustainable business models and green jobs. So again, the project-based learning, such as designing solar-powered models of a car or something like of a building, it will help in green energy initiatives that will help learners to connect the theory and the real-world applications. And here I am connecting SDG goals with the curriculum, and I am connecting the subjects in the curriculum like technology, where comes the ICT part, the computer part, the science, the mathematics, and the arts as well, and the engineering, where we come the design, where we talk about the designs, we talk about the models. So in one project, we can explain the importance of SDGs along with the integration of STEM education. Now, this is one point of view. If I want to now, how could I, make it possible to convince that this kind of a curriculum is necessary? So to create or enhance the awareness, what as a teacher or as an educator, what our roles could be. Like one of the role where I'm playing is that we're having a panel discussion, and when it's going online, when it's going live, so people are knowing more about it, that how we can integrate SDGs in our curriculum. And when I am giving you the aspect of STEM education, that that gives a good fancy name as well. So and the entrepreneurship part comes as well. So to create or enhance the awareness, the schools and all the educators, we can encourage the debates, the role plays, obviously exhibitions on energy and sustainable growth. And as we are doing the it's a kind of a strategy lab, so more workshops could be done. And as we have invited Miss Amara, so more word of mouth is there, the more people are learning and knowing about it. So like guest lectures and these kind of clubs, they can also help. Like for example, as an educator, I can convince the institutions, or I can play the part of creating STEM clubs along with aligned with SDG goals. So that will help to implement our purpose in a more effective way. So I think this approach that tells us, and I'm sure that that will lead to the um, good execution of the learners, that affordable clean energy, it not only supports sustainability, but also it drives innovation and the good economic opportunities. And in this way, when we are having clubs and discussions and workshops and seminars and sort of even daily classroom practice as well, so it will contribute to global development. Here I would like to add some more things, that uh, if we in like now I'm talking about the ground realities, like when a teacher is here in the classroom. So the teacher can take, as Ms. Astra said, that teacher training is very important. Yes, if the curriculum is still not there, that is aligning with the needs of SDGs, still what a teacher can do is that, taking 5 minutes from the class while planning a lesson, she can spare 2 to 3 minutes to 5 minutes to introduce the UN SDGs goals and the importance of the goals, and the we can say the delivery, like how we can make it possible through an activity, through a discussion, through critical thinking, through questions, something like that, telling them the purpose of life and how it is important, why it is important. So having a 5 minutes role play or a discussion or a debate or something like that, that can help even if the curriculum is not integrated with the SDG goals. So many of us know about it, that we have a World Energy Day, and we have a decent work day. Our World Energy Day is, I think, on October 22, which is about just passed away. And we have an Earth Day that we call the Peace Day as well. It was April 22. And the Decent Work Day, that is October 7, that is about to come. So on these days we can have a banner, and if we don't have a banner, we can have a whiteboard or a blackboard kind of labeling that, oh, today what is it, so why it is important, how is important, what role we can play, how can we add good part of us in the in the building of a good world. All these things are the ways that we can help our learners, our fellows, to know more about SDGs and integrate them, so that everyone should aware and start thinking and working on these United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. That's all from my side. And again, I want Ms. Amara to please give your feedback on my points.
Thank you so much, Mariam. I think one of the things that I would like to pinpoint is, as you mentioned, that we should pinpoint a few days and we should try and create more awareness. I think one of the important things that we are forgetting is that, unfortunately, again, I can't put enough stress over the fact that it is very unfortunate that the people of our country, when we are talking about like the subcontinent or the third world countries, we are still not able to understand that what exactly natural resources are and how depletable they are. you know um, we do understand. I do ask my student that, what is a solar panel, what do you think, why do you need to have solar energy around, why is it a sudden rage of this generation of solar electricity? And the reason was nothing close to what I would expect as a teacher. It was not that we are running out of energy sources, it was not that we have to be careful in using the electricity, etc. The reason of a solar panel placed in a home or a facility for a child today was that it would cut down my electricity bill. I'm sorry to say, it is one of the benefits of putting up a solar panel, of using an alternate energy source, but that's not at all the goal of why we are moving towards that energy. right? So
Ma'am,
I think
can I say one thing here?
sure.
So एग्जैक्टली देयर where जो मैंने पॉइंट अभी रेज किया था ना कि बार बार जब हमने बताना है तो वो बार बार जब घरों
Exactly.
में यही discussion होता है कि बिजली
Hmm.
कम है और वो सब पैसे कब
Hmm.
बचेंगे, तो दैट इज द पार्ट ना कि हम वो बताने के
हाँ.
बजाय कुछ और बता रहे हैं, सो विच इज वेरी
Exactly.
स्टूपिड.
So, what we really need to teach them is that what natural resources are, and that they are depleting is a phenomena that is happening. And one day it would be the situation where we say that the third world war would be fought over water. It would not be because there won't be any water. It would be because what it would be water everywhere, but it won't be consumable because the quality of the water would be so that it would be undrinkable. So we have to make them understand that why we are taking measures that we are taking right now. And I think rather than pinpointing on certain days, I would rather have the schools to pick up a goal every day and do a small presentation or a wrap up of it during the assembly time, or give the school projects on the basis of these goals, and try and really inculcate that what do we mean by depleting resources, and what is sustainability, what is the concept of it is nothing alien. It is not a certain age that we have to wait till we understand the concept. Even a child at home should be able to know that wasting or leaving a tap running is not a good idea. Why not? Because bill zyada aayega ya tanker khatam ho jayega. It's because it is a resource, it is something your earth has been blessed with, and you have to take care of it, not for yourself but also for the coming generations. Put him in a situation, or put her in a situation, where you tell them that imagine the time when you are not with this facility, what exactly is going to happen. So I think in our country we would start to need to start with very basic. You're talking about workshops and all, definitely, but workshops, programs, engagements, talks, all these are step ahead after the very basic inculcation of what exactly are sustainable energies and what are the sustainability goals. you know so yes, I think I would again go back to the fact that it has to be incorporated in the curriculum. The teachers also, when we talk about teachers getting trained, we have to keep in mind that teachers can only be trained to what the strategic approach of the country or the government is, what policies they are setting up, right? So I think it has to be from the very scratch of things, where we would be able to see the change that you all are here for, and we all are here for, or are concerned about, right? So yeah, I think we have to get it to the basics of things. It's high time.
Thank you, ma'am. Miss Asma, please, now it's your turn. All yours.
Yeah. Assalamualaikum everyone. Uh, Once again, I'll be part of the Strategy Lab. And last week, we have started this discussion about the Sustainable Development Goals. And obviously, audience have listened a lot from us, all the esteemed panelists and all the guest speakers have spoken a lot about the SDG and the Sustainable Development Goals, what they are, why they are important, why we will be the part to implement it. हम क्यों बने हैं सब? जब भी कोई फॉरेन साइड से कोई चीज आती है तो सबसे पहले हमारी जो एक अवाम है और हमारी जो एक नेशन है उसके पास एक क्वेश्चन आ जाता है कि हम क्यों बने, कहीं कोई साजिश तो नहीं। तो ये चीज क्वेश्चन सबसे पहले अराइज हो जाता है माइंड में जब भी यूएन की तरफ से या इंटरनेशनल लेवल पे कोई चीज होती है। तो उसमें ये क्वेश्चन जो है वो सबसे पहले एक कॉमन मैन के या एक जो हमारी अवेयरनेस या हमारा ब्रॉटअप जिस तरह का है या जितना नेगेटिव माइंड हमारा हो चुका है, तो ये क्वेश्चन हमारे माइंड में आता है कि अगर एक वैक्सीनेशन भी हो रही है तो उस पर क्वेश्चन उठ जाता है कि क्यों हो रही है, डब्ल्यूएचओ को हमारी क्यों फिक्र हो रही है, बाकी लोगों की क्यों नहीं हो रही। तो एक अच्छी चीज को भी हम गलत बना देते हैं। तो इसी तरीके से ये यूएन के लिए भी एक बहुत बड़ा क्वेश्चन मार्क है कि भाई वो क्यों हमें गोल्स दे रहे हैं जिनको हम अचीव करें, और वाई वी विल बी द पार्ट ऑफ दैट, हम क्यों उसका हिस्सा बने। तो ये हमारी आम आवाम की या हमारी ऑडियंस में से बहुत सारे लोग हैं, खैर वी आर द पार्ट ऑफ द स्ट्रेटेजी लैब जहाँ पे हमारी ज्यादातर ऑडियंस एजुकेशन से ताल्लुक रखती है, तो दे आर ऑल अवेयर अबाउट इट। बट हमारी इस वीडियोज को ऑब्वियसली एक जनरल पब्लिक भी सुन रही होती है, तो मैं उसको एड्रेस करना चाहूंगी और ये चीज जरूर बोलना चाहूंगी कि देखिए सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल्स में इस चीज को अच्छे से समझ लेना चाहिए कि नाउ द वर्ल्ड इज द ग्लोबल विलेज। एक पूरी दुनिया ग्लोबल विलेज है, आपकी सबकी जरूरतें सेम है, आपकी सबकी जो नीड्स है वो सेम है, वांट्स सेम है, आपकी सबकी रिक्वायरमेंट सेम है, आपको लिविंग के लिए जो चीजें रिक्वायर्ड हैं बेसिक वो सबको है। और अल्लाह ताला ने एक लिमिटेड रिसोर्सेज जो हैं वो दुनिया में रखी हैं, और हमारी जो पॉपुलेशन का ग्राफ है उस रिसोर्सेज के अकॉर्डिंग बहुत ज़्यादा है। हम ग्राफ अकॉर्डिंग टू रिसोर्सेज व्हाट वी हैव। तो अब नाउ वी नीड टू मैनेज दीज रिसोर्सेज। अब उन रिसोर्सेज को मैनेज करना हमारा काम है कि उनको मैनेज करते हुए हम चलें। अगर हम उसको मैनेज करते हुए नहीं चलेंगे तो एट द एंड, जैसे कि हमारा सेट के हमारी जो थर्ड वर्ल्ड वॉर है वो कहा जाता है कि जब स्टार्ट होगी तो जस्ट ड्यू टू वाटर कंजम्पशन, या कह सकते हैं अभी जिस तरीके से पाकिस्तान में पानी का जो इंडस्ट्री थी, जो है वो उसकी रॉन्ग डूइंग्स हुई और उसके ऊपर जो है वो पानी, क्योंकि वो अकॉर्डिंग टू लॉ चल रहे थे दूसरा कंट्री, लेकिन वी आर वे में। तो दीज आर द रीजन, चाहे पानी की कंजम्पशन, चाहे पानी का अपने एरिया को सेव करने के लिए दूसरी जगह पर मूव ऑन करा देना हो, दीज ऑल आर द इश्यूज जो कि अब ग्लोबली हो चुके हैं। हम एक सरहदों से जरूर डिवाइड है लेकिन ओवरऑल पूरी दुनिया के सेम इश्यूज। तो वो सेम इश्यूज को आइडेंटिफाई करते हुए क्या हाउ वी विल सेव अवर अर्थ, बिकॉज वी आर सेलिब्रेटिंग एवरी ईयर इन एवरी स्कूल अर्थ डे, हम सब सेलिब्रेट करते हैं। और हम 22 अप्रैल एवरी ईयर वी आर सेलिब्रेटिंग इट, उसमें हम अर्थ डे के इनफैक्ट हम अर्थ डे सेलिब्रेट कर रहे होते हैं, बट हम उसी में कार्ड शीट्स और इन सब का इस्तेमाल भेजा करते हुए अपने पूरे पूरे मॉडल्स और डिजाइन को क्रिएट कर रहे होते हैं और बता रहे होते हैं, बच्चों से आर्ट एंड क्राफ्ट करा रहे होते हैं। Why don't we go for plantation? हमें अगर we want to save the earth तो हमें अपने इकोसिस्टम को अच्छा, we want to maintain the balance, जो हमने सिटीज बनने के चक्कर में हमारा जो बैलेंस खराब हुआ है उस बैलेंस को हमें वापस करें। तो सस्टेनेबिलिटी इज ऑल अबाउट द बैलेंस, कि जब आपको सर्वाइवल के लिए आप बैलेंस को लेकर आएंगे, आप जो है अपनी चीजों को, ताकि जिसमें आपका अब जैसे द सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल व्हिच आई एम गोइंग टू टॉक अबाउट is sustainable cities and communities. How could we create the sustainable cities and communities? So for that, we have to make a balance. We have to design the cities, develop the cities in a balance of social, economic, environmental system. जो कि बैलेंस सिस्टम हो, जहां पर इट्स आइडियल सिचुएशन बट इट्स अ गोल वी विल ट्राई टू अचीव। इसको मैं सिर्फ एक एग्जांपल से रिलेट करूंगी। मैं आपसे बात करूंगी कराची शहर की, one of the beautiful city, one of it's a metropolitan in everything. And when we are child and we used to live in North Nazimabad, या किसी भी एरिया में हम रहते थे, गुलशन, नॉर्थ नाजिबाद, एनी एरिया। और मैं सिर्फ कराची की बात मैं इसलिए करूँ कि मैं यहाँ की ग्राउंड रियलिटी जानती हूँ, मुझे नहीं पता मे भी दूसरे शहरों में भी ऐसी चीजें। तो अब एक अर्बन प्लानिंग के टाइम पर एक एरिया को डेवलप किया गया था। लेट सपोज कि एक एरिया है नॉर्थ नाजिमाबाद की, हम बात कर लेते हैं, एक उसकी एक स्ट्रीट है, उसमें 10 या 20 हाउसेस बनाए गए। तो वो 10 या 20 हाउसेस जब बनाए गए तो वहाँ ड्रेनेज सिस्टम उसके हिसाब से था, वहाँ का जो आपकी कह लें पार्किंग का सिस्टम, कि आपकी गाड़ियां कहाँ खड़ी होंगी, ये चीजें वो सब उसके हिसाब से उन्होंने स्ट्रीट डिजाइन की, उसके हिसाब से वहाँ पे ड्रेनेज बना, उसके हिसाब से वहाँ पे पानी की लाइनें जली कि आपके पास पानी कितना आएगा, ड्रेनेज कैसे होगी, सीवेज कैसे होगी, ये सारी चीजें उसके हिसाब से अर्बन प्लानिंग के वक्त बनी। बट व्हाट वी डिड, हमने वो जो जहाँ पे 20 घरों की गुंजाइश थी तो वहां पे पोर्शंस बना के, एंड एक जो घर था उसको हमने 5-10 घरों के ऊपर डिवाइड करके, तो एक गली जहाँ पे 20 घर थे वहां 200 घर हमने क्रिएट कर दिए। तो आबादी भी अब अगर वहां पर 20 घरों के हिसाब से इन एवरेज अगर हम कह लें 80 लोग रह रहे थे, तो अब वहां पे 800 से ऊपर लोग आ गए। अब आपको सोच दीजिए सिस्टम कोलैप्स होगा या नहीं। तो ये एक सिटी, एक शहर और एक इलाके, एक गली की मैं बात कर रही हूँ। सेम इज द वे जब आप ओवरऑल पूरी दुनिया की बात करें, और पूरी दुनिया के अंदर अगर हमारे पास एक सस्टेनेबिलिटी रहते हुए, एक बैलेंस रहते हुए चीजें जिस हिसाब से होनी थी, हमने अपनी पॉपुलेशन पे कोई केयर नहीं करी और पॉपुलेशन ग्राफ इज गोइंग एक्सीडिंग। सो उस एक्सीडिंग ग्राफ की वजह से ऑब्वियसली आपका जो एक सस्टेनेबल सिटीज पे अगर अब हमने वर्क नहीं किया तो हम मजीद जो नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज हैं उनको डिप्लीट करते जा रहे हैं और तेजी से करते जाएंगे। if we are not going to treat our water in a proper manner, if we are not going to use alternative energy resources, so we are really in danger. In 2030, if we are not going to achieve these goals till 2030, we are really in danger. The earth is really in danger because due to our wrong practices, ozone layer is depleting so fast. And it is a protection layer. We all know about it. I don't need to go for that कि मैं उसके ऊपर यहाँ पर अभी discussion करूँ. And obviously we are disturbing our ecosystem. We are endangering the species because अल्लाह ताला ने कोई भी चीज ऐसे create नहीं की. अगर एक चूंटी भी है तो उसकी भी अहमियत है. एक मच्छर भी है तो उसकी भी अहमियत है. वो भी इकोसिस्टम का हिस्सा है तो उसको किसी ना किसी रीजन से बनाया गया है. किसी ने कोई ना कोई वजह है. तो वी आर, अगर हम किसी भी स्पीशी को इंडेंजर कर रहे हैं, इसका मतलब हम अपने इकोसिस्टम को इंडेंजर कर रहे हैं. एंड फॉर यूजिंग पेपर, फॉर वेस्टिंग पेपर, वी आर कटिंग ट्रीज एंड ऑल दैट. वी आर स्टिल नॉट गो फॉर गो ग्रीन. हम अभी भी गो ग्रीन पे नहीं जा रहे हैं. हम अभी भी डिजिटल नहीं हो रहे. वी आर स्टिल यूजिंग लॉट्स ऑफ पेपर, इनफैक्ट वेस्टिंग लॉट्स ऑफ without any pay. So, like for sustainable cities and communities, what we are going to do, we have to need the urban planning. We have to go for the design persons जो कि properly educated हो. They know how to create a sustainable cities. तो उसके लिए वो कैसे urban planning करेंगे, किस तरीके से उन्हें न्यू जो हमारी आबादियां हैं उनको कैसे ग्रो करना है, वहाँ किस तरीके से सिस्टम को डेवलप करना है. अफोर्डेबल एंड एडुकेट हाउसिंग हमें डेवलप करनी पड़ेगी. We need to introduce the affordable and educate housing. We need to introduce the sustainable transportation, which are electric vehicles or vehicles operated by solar system. We have to cut off the price of the oil and usage of the oil. Also, we need to go for the disaster risk and management. इसके ऊपर हमें proper working करनी पड़ेगी. And then we need to go for the participatory governance, inclusive participatory governance. If that's not here, so we are not going to do the urban planning without it. Environmental sustainability, again, I'm going to say about कि हमें environmental sustainability के ऊपर जाना पड़ेगा. If we are not going to sustain our environment, if we are not going to balance our environment, we are in danger. And cultural heritage, culture की heritage, obviously, it is very important thing. If we are not doing so, so obviously we are not going to make a sustainable city. And innovative solutions, we have to find out the innovative solutions. We have to go for the financing sustainable cities. अगर हमारे पास financial resources, we need to introduce the entrepreneurship more and more. And once again, मरियम ने बहुत अच्छा point raise किया था कि we educators have the most responsibility to make people aware about these sustainable development goals. And it's not only the responsibility of schools and the curriculum studied in schools. It is throughout, from school till university. We have to inculcate SDGs in our curriculum. Otherwise, we are not going to achieve. And in fact, ये change आएगा education system से ही. We have to be the part of to achieve these goals. We have to inculcate it in our curriculum. We have to, make it reinforced on a daily basis and make our child aware of it in a very well way. That after that, they will going to say that we have to achieve no poverty. We have to go for the sustainable city. We are not going to waste the things. We are not going to, they are trying to reduce. They are trying to reuse things. They are trying to recycle things rather than purchasing again and again and again and again. So these, and then the other point which I'm going to talking about is the consumption and production. So it is also a very important, it's a quite co-link point with the one which I have been already told. So पर इसके लिए मैं आपसे ये बात कहूँगी कि consumption और production की अगर हम बात करें, responsible consumption. So we are literally wasting things. हम बहुत सारी चीजों को unnecessary waste कर रहे होते हैं, unnecessary use कर रहे होते हैं. Like as I said कि we need to go for the go green now. हमें हो जाना चाहिए. We have to inculcate our curriculum in a way that we are go no paper studies. We have to go for that now, and it's easy now. It's easy now. We have portals. We have the ERP systems in our school. We have a proper IT sectors in every school, small or big. Every school have a proper IT system. Otherwise, the pupil in the school, the teachers in the schools are all ICT trained. I think so. In this era, No one is that is going to be not trained by ICT. And if they are not trained, they should go for do some courses. And the one point which I'm going to raise over here, like Mariam and Asra and Amara, all are on the same page. The teacher must be trained. Unluckily, we are working in a private sectors. और मैं बड़े स्कूल्स की बात नहीं करूंगी, मैं नॉर्मल स्कूल्स की बात करूंगी. तो नॉर्मल स्कूल्स में हम देखें तो हमारे पास जो एक एवरेज स्कूल की मैं बात करी कि हमारी जो 98% पब्लिक है वो एवरेज स्कूल्स में जाती है. और क्योंकि जाहिर सी बात है जो हमारे मिडिल क्लास से ताल्लुक रखते हैं 98% लोग मिडिल और लोअर क्लास है, तो ऑब्वियसली दे आर गोइंग फॉर द एवरेज. एलीट क्लास के स्कूल्स की मैं बात नहीं कर रही. इन एवरेज स्कूल्स हैं जिनके पास ट्रेन स्टाफ, दे डोंट हैव, बिकॉज दे आर पेइंग, कि वो पे नहीं कर रहे. तो जब आप टीचर को अच्छा पे नहीं कर रहे तो यू विल नॉट गेट अ ट्रेन टीचर इन योर स्कूल. अब जब आपको ट्रेन टीचर नहीं मिल रही तो नाउ दिस इज द रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ऑफ द स्कूल कि आपके पास जो स्टाफ है और आपने उनकी कोई भी पॉइंट को देख के उनको अगर आपने अपने पास हायर किया है, उनमें कोई भी स्पार्क देख के, टीचिंग स्पार्क देख के या व्हाटएवर, तो नाउ इट्स योर ड्यूटी टू ट्रेन देम. इन हाउस ट्रेनिंग अब आप उनकी करिए, क्योंकि इन हाउस ट्रेनिंग स्कूल अफोर्ड कर सकता है. स्कूल किसी ट्रेनर को बुला के फैसिलिटेट करवा सकता है. बहुत से इदारे हैं जो फ्री वर्कशॉप दे रहे हैं, बहुत सी जगह हैं जहां पे फ्री ट्रेनिंग्स मिल रही हैं. देयर इज लॉट्स ऑफ प्लेटफॉर्म्स, बट फर्स्ट वी हैव टू मेक आवर स्टाफ रेडी टू लर्न. वी हैव टू मोटिवेट देम टू लर्न. हमें उनको बेनिफिट बताना पड़ेगा कि इस ट्रेनिंग को लेके आपको फायदा क्या होगा. यू विल ग्रो, क्योंकि बहुत से लोग इस माइंडसेट के साथ आते हैं, बहुत सी बच्ची इस माइंडसेट के साथ स्कूलों में जॉब कर रही होती हैं. दे जस्ट नीड टू कवर अप देयर एक्सपेंसेस फॉर एजुकेशन और फॉर देयर पॉकेट मनी. दे आर वर्किंग फॉर दैट रीजन, एंड वंस दे achieve their target, once they get their degree or goal, whatever they have, they just leave that job and go for any other career or option or any other organization. They are not meant for teaching. They are not here for doing teaching as a career. Unluckily, we don't have a trained teacher, and we don't have a person who are passionate to do teaching. But still, they are teacher. So we need to first train them. We need to first train by ourselves to them. Up as a principal capacity, if you are the person you can able to train, you do it by yourself. But otherwise, if you can't able to, you don't have manage your time to do so all these things, then do some in-house trainings by any trainer or any person. I'm not going to name any organization over here because मैं एक जनरल बात कर रही हूँ और तमाम स्कूल ओनर्स और प्रिंसिपल से कर रही हूँ कि वो एटलीस्ट अपने टीचर को ट्रेन करवाएं ताकि वो इस चीज को आगे अवेयर कर सकें स्टूडेंट्स को. बिकॉज वंस वो खुद अवेयर होंगी, हम बात करते रहते हैं करिकुलम की, कितने टीचर्स हैं जिनको पता है एसडीजी है क्या, कितने टीचर्स हैं जिनको पता है एसएलओ है क्या, कितने लोग हैं जिनको मालूम है करिकुलम है क्या. आप एक नॉर्मल एवरेज स्कूल में जाकर टीचर से पूछें तो ब्लूम टैक्सोनॉमी वो आपकी शक्ल देखेंगे कि आप क्या बात व्हाट यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट. सो हमें मासेस की बात करनी है. वी आर नॉट हियर टू टॉक अबाउट जस्ट सम एलीट स्कूल्स. हाँ, मैं वहाँ के टीचर्स ऑब्वियसली ट्रेन होंगे, वहाँ के टीचर्स ऑब्वियसली एजुकेटेड होंगे, दे आर हैविंग द प्रोफेशनल डिग्रीज, so they must things. But everyone don't have these professional degrees. Usually teachers are working, sometimes they are not even graduate. In schools, I met the teachers, they are not even graduate, but they have a very good spark, they are a very good learner, they learn very fast and they can able to taught a student in a very well way. मैं ये नहीं कह रही कि उन एवरेज स्कूल में बच्चों को अच्छा नहीं पढ़ाया जा रहा, बहुत अच्छी अच्छी बच्चियां हैं, उनके अंदर कुदरती वो एक नेचुरल स्किल्स हैं, दे कैन एबल टू कम्युनिकेट इन अ वेरी वेल वे. हम ट्रेन लोगों से ज्यादा अच्छा वो कर रही हूँ. मैं ये नहीं कह रही हूँ उन स्कूलों में काम नहीं अच्छा होगा, बट वो एक गॉड गिफ्टेड, अल्लाह ताला ने शायद उस बच्चे को अच्छा टीचर देना था तो उसके अंदर शायद ये स्किल्स होंगे. तो दीज आर द डायलेमास व्हिच द पाकिस्तान हैज फेस्ड. और हमारे पास एजुकेशन में ऑब्वियसली क्योंकि पे स्किल्स अच्छी नहीं है, मैं उन टीचर्स को भी ब्लेम नहीं कर रही, जब पे स्किल्स ही अच्छे नहीं है वो कहाँ से अपनी एजुकेशन के ऊपर ट्रेनिंग साइड पे ये लगाएंगे. फिर हमारे यहाँ जो माइंड सेट है टीचिंग प्रोफेशन, लोग ऐसे क्वेश्चन करते हैं, अच्छा स्कूल टीचर, ओह माय गॉड, जस्ट यू आर स्कूल टीचर, ये पढ़ के आप स्कूल टीचिंग कर रहे हो. तो these are the things. तो बंदा कहेगा कि नहीं, we have to go for some office job or some corporate sector ताकि कुछ तो इज्जत हो. फैमिली में एंड सोसाइटी में. एंड देन फाइनली आई एम गोइंग टू टॉक अबाउट स्ट्रेटेजीज कि क्या स्ट्रेटेजीज हम अप्लाई करें to inculcate this with the curriculum. So first is PBL. PBL is very important, project based learning. We go for the project based learning. हमें लाजमी अपने स्कूल्स में उसको स्टार्ट करना चाहिए एंड चाहे हम IB करिकुलम से ताल्लुक रखते हैं नहीं रखते, वी शुड स्टार्ट द प्रोजेक्ट बेस्ड लर्निंग. हम प्रोजेक्ट बेस्ड लर्निंग पे जाएंगे तो इट्स बेटर फॉर अस. Rather than that, we have to go for the interdisciplinary approach, as Mariam has said. कि आपने जो है वो एक प्रोजेक्ट दिया, उसको हमने इंग्लिश से भी इनकलकेट कर लिया, मैथ्स से भी इनकलकेट कर लिया. तो जब आप इंटरडिसिप्लिनरी सब्जेक्ट की बात करते हो, तो जब उसके ऊपर आप कोई चीज देते हो जिसमें आपके बच्चे की 3-4 चीजें कवर होती है, लाइक सपोज आपने बच्चे को दे दिया कि शुड डिजाइन अ फुटबॉल ग्राउंड, थीमेटिक फुटबॉल ग्राउंड. तो बच्चा डिजाइन करे अपने आप से सोच के, अपनी थिंकिंग से सोच के, विच इज नॉट राइट नाउ अवेलेबल इन द वर्ल्ड. आप अपनी कुछ आउट ऑफ द बॉक्स जाके सोच के लिखा, तो यू मेक योर चाइल्ड अ क्रिटिकल थिंकर एज वेल. सो इट्स ऑल अबाउट.
मैम मैं बस ऐड करना चाहती हूँ कि हमारे पास टिंकर कैड, ICT बैकग्राउंड से हूँ, तो टिंकर कैड हमारे पास ऐसा सॉफ्टवेयर है जहाँ पे बच्चा जो है वो एक कंप्यूटर या किसी आर्ट की क्लास में बैठ के फुटबॉल ग्राउंड डिजाइन कर सकता है. दिस इज पॉसिबल.
यस, एग्जैक्टली. सो लाइक इसी तरीके से केस स्टडीज एंड प्रोजेक्ट्स, एंड वंस अगेन हम सेट के इस तरह की बहुत सारे क्लब्स और क्लब्स एंड प्लस स्टडीज लैब की तरह से और बहुत सारे प्रोग्राम सेशन होने चाहिए जहाँ लोग इस प्लेटफॉर्म पे आके बात करें. नाउ आई वांट टू से वांट के हमारा जो है अपना पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू दें इन दोनों सबसे पोस्ट पे, एंड हम फिर उस प्रोग्राम को अपने माइंड अप की तरफ लेके जाएं बिकॉज वी आर रशियन टाइम.
No, definitely. I think, Ms. Asma, you covered most of the points, and I think it was a very healthy conversation. One thing that I would want to say is with the aspect of recycling, I think we still do pay somewhat attention to recycling aspect of the environment, but I think we need to start focusing on reuse aspect of it as well. We have to teach our children that ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि एक दफा अगर कोई चीज आपने एक तरीके से यूज कर ली है तो it can't be used in any other way, or refurbishing skills. I think we should have these small programs in schools where we teach the kids how to use a thing in other ways to make it more practical rather than just throwing it away. So I think that is going to create an impact. Like, for example, even international organizations like IKEA, everybody knows their furniture brand, and now they are focusing on the ideas of refurbishing as well. They're promoting it, that they take in the old stuff and they refurbish it and then they sell it again at a lighter cost. I think which is a brilliant initiative to actually induce this fad of reuse. So this was one of the things. Secondly, I think we talked about training. Yes, indeed, training is important, and you're right कि जो बड़े schools हैं उनमें of course trained teachers होंगी, but I think even after having trained teacher, that is not enough until unless the school premises is not providing the important resources to apply that training to the teacher, as well. Just being trained teachers or having trained teachers is not enough. The school management, the administration, the staff, the finances, budgeting, everything has to be on board to actually incorporate and take that training a step further, I think. So these were the two things that I felt that
Yes, Mara, you are very right. मैं एक पॉइंट यहाँ ऐड करना चाहूंगी कि आपने जो बात कही कि ट्रेन टीचर होना जरूरी नहीं है, क्योंकि इसकी सबसे बड़ी मिसाल गवर्नमेंट स्कूल्स में ऑल द टीचर हैव ग्रेड्स, उसके बगैर किसी जॉब नहीं.
ट्रेनिंग इज इम्पोर्टेंट. आप एक
तो
दफा जब
ट्रेनिंग
आप
है बट वो उसको अप्लाई नहीं होगी, अप्लाई नहीं होगी.
आप उसको अगर इम्प्लीमेंट ही नहीं कर पा रहे तो it's useless. Even after putting in the money into it or having that person who can actually train people around them, as you rightly said, there are so many people we meet in our faculty staff who have a lot to say about a topic, but unfortunately they're not given the time, space and the resources to actually go ahead and inculcate that knowledge to everyone around them. I think that is important, and civic responsibility is important when we talk about communities को अपनी responsibility समझना, एक citizen क्या होता है, एक शहरी क्या होता है, उसके क्या फराइज हैं. हुकूक तो अनफॉर्चुनेटली सबको पता होते हैं, क्योंकि हम सबसे पहले अपने हक के लिए लड़ना खड़ा हो जाते हैं, लेकिन जब फ़राइज़ की बात आती है तो शायद हम इतना ज़्यादा अटेंशन पे नहीं करते। तो आई थिंक इट्स इम्पॉर्टेंट दैट वी इनकलकेट इन आवर स्टूडेंट्स दैट जितना हक के लिए खड़े होना ज़रूरी है, उतना ही फ़र्ज़ को पूरा करने के लिए भी आगे बढ़ना चलना ज़रूरी है। So with this, I think it was brilliant to have you all. It was a wonderful discussion. Thank you so much for having me. I had great fun, and I hope that these kind of conversations do take place, and we are able to leave an impact and create the change that we are actually hoping for. So thank you so much for having
Inshallah.
me.
Inshallah, we will.
Thank you,
Miss
Mara,
Asma,
for being the part
Miss
and as a guest speaker. Yes.
मिस अस्मा, आपने भी कॉन्वेंट्स
Yes,
का नाम
madam.
लिया था? आई कांट हियर दैट।
किस चीज का?
मुझे लगा आपने किसी का नाम लिया है व्हेन टॉकिंग अबाउट द ट्रेनिंग के वो इम्प्लीमेंटेशन नहीं है, सो आई कुडंट हियर दैट प्रॉपर्ली द सेंटेंस।
मैंने कहा था गवर्नमेंट सेक्टर
गवर्नमेंट,
में जो हमारे स्कूल है, तो ऑल द गवर्नमेंट स्कूल्स हैव बीएड टीचर्स, नॉट लेस देन
यस,
दैट, क्योंकि उनका तो क्राइटेरिया है, विदाउट बीएड दे आर नॉट गिवन द जॉब
यस,
ना।
यस,
सो बट
यस,
एग्जीक्यूशन कहाँ है, उसकी एग्जीक्यूशन
यस,
कहाँ है? अगर एग्जीक्यूशन होती तो शायद प्राइवेट सेक्टर ग्रो ना करता, शायद प्राइवेट सेक्टर के अंदर इतने बच्चे नहीं पढ़ रहे होते। गवर्नमेंट के स्कूल्स बहुत बड़े बड़े हैं, टीचर्स बहुत अच्छे हायर्ड हैं, बट एग्जीक्यूशन ना होने की वजह से एवरीबडी इज have to encourage to go for the private sector and private school. So this is also the dilemma. And मैं बस एक चीज यहाँ पर ऐड करना चाहूंगी लास्टली, और जैसे कि मिस आरा ने कहा, मैंने भी पहले कहा रीयूज रीयूज का, तो रीयूज के ऊपर भी मुझे एक चीज याद आई है अभी, कि अभी आप लोग भी सब देख रहे होंगे सोशल मीडिया पे एक लेटर बहुत वायरल हो रहा है आर्मी पब्लिक स्कूल की टीचर प्रिंसिपल का। दैट वॉज रियली हार्ट टचिंग, और इनफैक्ट वो बेहतरीन मैसेज है। मैं उसको दोबारा यहाँ पे भी, क्योंकि वो रीयूज से ही कनेक्टेड है, कि ऑब्वियसली अगर हम अपनी कोई यूज हुई हुई चीज दोबारा यूज कर रहे हैं तो इसमें कोई बुराई नहीं है। एवरी पेरेंट नीड टू टीच देयर चाइल्ड कि आपके पास अगर कोई रिसोर्सेज अच्छी हैं तो आप किसी बच्चे के पास नहीं है तो उसकी वजह से आप उसको अपने से कम नहीं समझें, उसको डिग्रेड नहीं करें। अल्लाह ताला ने सबको, अल्लाह ताला की डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन पर राजी हो जाए और उस पर शुक्र करें। अल्लाह ताला ने सबके लिए बेहतरीन सबको दी। अगर उसके पास वो चीज नहीं है, अल्लाह ने कुछ और उसको बहुत अच्छा, तो यू आर नथिंग टू से एनीथिंग टू एनी। आप है ही नहीं कि आप किसी और को, हु यू आर टू से एनीथिंग टू एनी। सो ये दैट वाज अ वेरी हार्ट टचिंग लेटर व्हिच आई एम गोइंग टू बस एज अ मैसेज यहाँ पर इस प्लेटफॉर्म पे मैं उसको भी हाईलाइट करना चाह रही थी कि नहीं, बिल्कुल वो एक बहुत अच्छी बात है, और अच्छी बात जो है वह and every principal has to give that message to every student of them, कि आपको भी ये मैसेज हर प्रिंसिपल को अपने बच्चों और पेरेंट्स को अब इस चीज को समझने की जरूरत है कि वो अपने बच्चों को टीच करें और इस चीज को बताएं कि आपको किसी को बुली नहीं करना, सिर्फ रिसोर्सेज उसके पास अगर आपके जितनी बेहतरीन नहीं है तो। So thank you, and it's once again thanks to Synapra for giving us this great opportunity to share our thoughts to the audience, our lovely audience. And I want कि आपके कोई भी comments हो, कोई भी suggestions हो, कोई भी queries हो, तो you just comment, and inshallah we will answer your queries, and we will acknowledge your comments, and we love you all. Thank you so much, everyone. I think we should this conversation.
थैंक यू सो मच, अल्लाह हाफिज।
Love. Thank you.